What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you as ever for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. On the screen, I keep mentioning this every video, but it's important to me, so I am going to keep mentioning it. The Race for Life QR code that is on there. If you haven't done so already, if you could click the link, or scan the link anyways, and go to my niece's site. And I know, or as I said this last night, but I know already some people have done it. But if you haven't, and you can do, nobody has to, but if you can do, then I would really appreciate you just giving her some support with regards to the Race for Life side of stuff. Like I said, that would mean an absolute bunch to me. So yeah, that would be great. Now, from a video point of view, I need to preface this with a warning that this is, at this current moment in time, pure speculation on a particular player that I'm going to talk about, but it's from a point of view of feeling good and feeling, you know, giving a little bit of excitement over this kind of really slow news period time of thing. It seems to have been on Wacko, the ever reliable site, with people that are mentioning it, is that they're potentially, and again, take this with a grain of salt, this is complete rumour mill stuff, but take it with an absolute grain of salt for this unless something serious happens. But I can understand the logic behind it. There is potentially a strong possibility, according to Wacko, that Rutter could make a return to Ellen Road. More in, the rumour is that he is absolutely desperate to come back to Leeds. I, for one, would not be unhappy with him coming back to Leeds. I know the Championship and the Premier League are two completely different things. However, what I will say is that I've watched him play for Brighton on a couple of occasions, and he still has that ability, still looks good, still does the same things that he's supposed to do. Maybe not to the level that he was doing it in the Championship, and he's fallen off a little bit with Brighton. However, with that being said, we've been crying out for a creative player, and he is an unbelievable creative player that we could potentially look to bring home. And it would be stunning. It'd be, for me, it'd be a statement of intent. For me, it would be a really, really nice, heartwarming story that us fans like to see. It came completely out of the blue when he left. His release clause was met by Brighton, and c'est la vie. There's nothing more that you can do in that situation than it go the way that it needs to go. Now, again, I'm stressing this here. This is all speculation at this moment in time. This is just purely because a rumour's been going around on Wacko. It's made its way onto Twitter now as well, and people, you know, taking it further and further and further. So I thought it would be something that I would speak on. I'm not an ITK. I'm not a news site or anything like that. It's just when I hear little bits and pieces of information that I think might be interesting, then I will talk on it and bring you my thoughts on it. I think it would be a good signing. It could be potentially a creative outlet that we've been looking for. We know Farke absolutely loves Rutter as well, loves everything about him. I mean, in fairness, against Brighton when he came on, he didn't really try, did he? He did a Beckford. He just didn't try, which, you know, I rate and I absolutely respect. So, I mean, it is very much rumour mill territory, because there is in terms of money, there is in terms of how much is outstanding that's owed to us by them. Have they paid the entire 40 million off yet? Is there a potential deal to be done if it was going to happen? So could it be, say for argument's sake, they paid £20 million, whatever, and if we say, right, split the difference, we'll give you 20 million and we'll call it quits and take our boy back. I don't know how it would work, but I'd love to see him back at Leeds. Genuinely I would, because he's goofy, he's silly. I think he would fit right in. I mean, could you imagine him in a front line with DCL, Okafor, you know, Dan James as well, potentially. You know, I'm not going to say Aronson because I'm going to get cooked in the comments if I even mention Aronson's name, so I'm not going to go down that road. But it would just be a feel-good story. It'd be something that would be really nice to see and to happen. So potentially, like I said, it's very much rumour mill territory, but in essence, in my opinion, it makes sense. I think it'd be a decent move. That's my opinion. I can get cooked for it. That's absolutely fine. I have quite a strong affinity to Rutter and what he's about. So fingers crossed we can get a bit more information and see whether or not it is or it isn't. If it's just, I mean, listen, the long and short of it is that it's probably going to be complete rumour mill territory anyway, so I wouldn't even worry about it that much. But I just wanted to talk about it because it made me feel things that I hadn't felt for a little while, and I just think it would be a nice bookend to a story that ended with him crying on the pitch at Wembley. Who knows? The other one to mention that's been mentioned on Wacko as well, and I know Wacko isn't a great source, but it's something that the Harvey Elliot situation would be an interesting one. I don't think he's played enough, but he would be somebody that would raise the floor of the squad, definitely. I think that could be somebody that could work, but it's down to, I'm trying to think if I've seen reports online of something along the lines of him being worth about 20-25 million that Liverpool would let him go for. He's had a crap time of it at Villa because it got to a certain level, and if they played him any more or he played any more minutes, it would mean that Villa were obliged to pay for him. And we talked about it on the podcast last night with Jer, just saying in terms of players or teams that had struggled in the European model, and Villa was one of them, because the Villa model at the moment has been they're having to do one sort of marquee sale to be able to finance other stuff, and they don't have the ability to finance deals like that. So yeah, he's had a crap end to the season in terms of his minutes that he's actually played, but again, he's somebody that could potentially do a number at Ellen Road. I think he could work quite well if he's fit and he can get going. He's a very creative player. He'd work well on that right-hand side, cutting in, I think, in a midfield or an attacking front three, depending on how you look at it. So it would be interesting to see how that one works, depending on sort of the type of style that Farke wants to play next season. I know he wants to move back to the possession-based style football. Maybe this would help, maybe this would give it back. And the final one that I wanted to talk on was something that I had a little opinion about, and something that I would really, really like to see. And that is, if we're looking at keepers, I know there's keepers that have been mentioned, but if we are looking at keepers, the one that I would really like to see come to Leeds would be Trafford from Man City. Admittedly, it would be a loan. It wouldn't be anything more than that. It would just be a loan, in my opinion. He's not going to get in front of Donnarumma. Mind you, he's saying that they've got Maresca coming in, so is Maresca going to use him? We'd just have to wait and see. He would be fantastic to come in my humble opinion. That would be something that I would really, really like to see. And I think, again, it would be a statement, a big statement of intent. And again, it'd be a very, very positive signing in the view of raising the floor or the level of the squad overall. So, there's a little recap. There's pretty much running round about Rutter, which would just be a phenomenal thing to happen. I know Dan Moylan at the Square Ball would absolutely love to see him come back, because he's just like a big goofy kid, isn't he? Not Dan Moylan. Well, Dan Moylan is a little bit. He's just like a big goofy kid with his Pokemon cards, his horse racing, all of that kind of good stuff. I just like everything about him. And for me, and again, this is my opinion, this isn't fact or anything, it ticks boxes with me, in my opinion. I think the Harvey Elliot thing would work quite well as well. Harry Wilson would be another one that I would potentially look at, but the rumour going around is that he's probably going to go to Villa, so we'll have to wait and see how that all turns out and the way that kind of runs and goes. So it's going to be an interesting period. It'll be interesting to see if there's any business done before the World Cup. It'll be interesting to see if any more sort of concrete sources of information come out. So again, something that we will just have to wait and see and hold our powder dry on. And it's an awful period, this, because you want everything to happen really, really quickly so you can get it out of the way and start moving on and talking about, the next things and what's going to happen with the next ones. But yeah, Rutter for me would be great, just from a nostalgia and emotion point of view. And I know in the Premier League we don't have the luxury of being able to be emotional about stuff. That's not what it's about. It's about survival. It's about this, that, and the other, and all, and doing the right things for the club. But just as a tugging at your heartstrings thing, a Rutter return would just be phenomenal. It'd be so funny. and it'd just be absolutely great. And I think it'd be something that we would all really, really love to see. That's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I just wanted to bring a little bit of information and just see where we could go with it. Again, don't take any of this as read, because it isn't. This is pure speculation. This is just little rumour lumps that are coming up and just something to talk about. And I know, in some cases, Wacko's not the be-all and end-all, but it was just interesting how it made its way over from Wacko and then onto Twitter as well. So make of it what you will, but definitely file it in heavy speculation. If you're not subscribed, please make sure that you do subscribe, turn your notifications on, comment, hype, like, all of that kind of stuff. If you are listening to the audio version of this, please also make sure that you're liking the audio for me as well. That would be greatly appreciated. Yeah, it's late night, so past midnight when I'm doing this. Just wanted to make sure that I got a video out Friday morning, because I'm committed. Take care of each other. Most importantly, please take care of yourself. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take it easy. I appreciate your time. Cheers.